Hi, and welcome to the
muscular class.
So David Rubin's show is, I think, really interesting and fascinating because I would say like 99% of his show now has been devoted to one very simple and beautiful idea, which is I'm upset that I can't eat at restaurants. What I like to often do is open up this guy's channel, open up one of his videos, and say to myself, maybe he's saying something dumb that I can make fun of. And honestly, like, more than half the time, he's complaining about restaurants not being open. I mean, this is just like keeping him up at night. So let's take a look at this clip here.
Outdoor dining. Then right from the vote, she actually went to go eat outside until they shut down outdoor dining the next day. So that just shows you the hypocrisy and ridiculousness of these people. But the day we did the outdoor shutdown, we had 27,227 new cases of COVID. Our 7-day average was 23,000 roughly. Now, flash forward 5 weeks later, new cases are 21,680, so a little bit less new cases, but our 7-day average right now is actually higher than it was 5 weeks ago. It's at 25,576. So if our new case average is higher, then how in the world does it make sense to open the state if keeping us locked down had anything to do with keeping us safe? I think it's fairly obvious that we all know the answer to this, that the lockdowns not only didn't work, they actually were completely counter to everything because they destroyed the economy and made people depressed, and we know rates of alcohol and suicide are up, and the rest.
Just going to play you one specific part of this over, okay? Just pay attention.
New cases are 21,680, so a little bit less new cases, but our 7-day average right now is actually higher than it was 5 weeks ago. It's at 25,576. So if our new case average is higher, then how in the world does it make sense to open the state if keeping us locked down had anything to do with keeping us safe?
So the explanation for this is actually really easy to find. This is probably the easiest dunk, let's just say. Let's just call it dunking, okay? Let's just go full YouTube up in here, and let's call it a dunk. Very easy to find. Here, I'll read you this from CNBC. State health officials now project that ICU capacity, the percentage beds in use in every region, will drop below 85%. Okay? In 4 weeks after running at or close to max capacity for weeks. So basically, hospitals were overflowing with COVID patients. And they say, okay, we got to be extra careful because if we get a bunch of, people, barfing their guts up in here and need to be on ventilators and all this stuff, and we don't have hospital capacity, we're going to be in big trouble. We're going to be in big trouble, guys. So let's be extra careful. That's why they shut down the restaurants. Blah, 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 blah. So it dropped below 85% capacity, which is still, that's pretty full. But they're like, okay, well, we can kind of handle some people, so we don't need to be as careful. There you go. That's not hard to find out. Guy who gets paid a lot of money to do this. This was streamed only 11 hours ago. Already has 143,000 views. And I'm like, who does this appeal to? And I think my prediction, my assessment, if you've lived in the United States for a long time, you know that we're kind of packed with like adult babies. Like we're just
fetch the bolt cutters.
That one doesn't make any sense.
Bye-bye.
We're just packed with adult babies. People who wah, wah, wah. They just act like big babies. And I think that's who he appeals to. That's why he keeps going on and on about restaurants, is because people are like, they're like, if I can't eat at a restaurant, if I can't do whatever I want, whenever I want, then I'm gonna just my dipes.
This is something I have a lot of problems with.
Churning of ideas.
Okay. Hey, look, guys, you're going to just have to make a really stunning sacrifice, which is you're going to have to eat your sweet potato fries at home for a couple months. Nope, I will not make that sacrifice. No way. I did not know about this, but in December, one of our heroes, one of our nation's greats, Guy Fieri, and, honor him, say his name correctly. Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri. My name is Guy Fieri. I make it a jalapeno poppers that you like it so much. This is a new character I'm working on for this channel. It's called Real Italian Guy Fieri. And my name is Guy Fieri. My mama, she used to make it a pizza rolls just like I make it now. Hello, I frosted the tips of my hair. I wear the wraparound sunglasses just like my papa. So that's a pretty low quality character that I'm working on, Real Italian Guy Fieri. So check that out on Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. So Guy Fieri really worked up and pissed off about the outdoor dining, I guess it is. Yeah, outdoor dining ban in LA County. And what does he say? A bunch of people filed lawsuits. They're doing this in their pants about this whole shutdown thing since December. And celebrity chef Guy Fieri urged an end to the ban, tweeting, "We gotta keep Flavortown open for biz. We gotta keep it open. We gotta spread the disease, amore. I wear the armbands even though I no do sports." The other funny thing about this, Dave Rubin is always like going off on the governor about this. He's like, "This governor doesn't let me eat at Nobu every other night to spend my dirty money at Nobu or whatever." He's always like going off on the governor. And it's like, dude, if you look into this at all, this stuff's all coming from the health department in California. They're like, hey, our hospitals are about to burst. We got to like keep people in their homes. He always has that guy, Adam Carolla, on his show too, who's always, his whole thing, his whole like little, his whole public image, his little marketing thing that he does is like, I'm a tough guy. I'm like a working class Joe. But if I can't go to my fancy restaurants in LA, I'm going to throw a fit. What about the hospitals that can't handle all these people getting sick? I don't care. This is my Adam Carolla. I don't care. I need fancy restaurants 24/7 because I'm a working class guy. So one thing that I'm curious about with this is in World War II, I don't know if you guys know about this, but there were ration cards. They gave people these like ration books. And it's really interesting, actually. I'll put a link to this website, but it's from the World War II Museum. They have actually, scans of these ration books. I think they called them sugar books, too. Basically, because they needed to send so much meat and sugar and blah, 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 and rubber and ga-ga-ga over to soldiers in World War II, they couldn't have all these, fat slobs in the United States sucking down all that stuff. So you got ration cards, ration books. You couldn't just inhale everything, And I really wonder, how somebody like Dave Rubin or his million subscribers would fare in a situation like that. Because I guarantee you, there was a percentage of people during World War II who were like, I don't care. I don't care if Hitler wins. I want more than my ration of chocolate. That would have been Dave Rubin and Adam Carolla in World War II, just wishing Germany wins the war and the Nazis win, so they can get extra chocolate, so they can get extra sandwiches in their outside of their ration cards. You look at the sacrifice people made, and these people who watch Dave Rubin's show. And these people exist. I mean, you go travel around America, there's a lot of grown-up babies, a lot of people who just want to their diapers and just want to be coddled. They want to sleep in a giant crib, basically. And they can't make this like very basic, obvious sacrifice of like, hey, stay home for a little while. Stay home for a little while. Don't go to P.F. Chang's for a couple months, okay? And they can't handle that. This is just too much for them. I can't make that sacrifice. Well, hospitals are getting packed over capacity. These doctors are, they're not sleeping, basically. A lot of people are dying, getting really sick. Can you please not eat at P.F. Chang? No, I refuse. I'm not doing that. This is basically 1984. I feel like I'm in 1984 right now. That book where that guy turned into a bug or something. I don't remember. This is just like that book, 1984. What's that book? Have you read that book? Yeah, that book's about people weren't allowed to eat in chain restaurants. So he can't be honest about this. He can't be like, yeah, they just need to kind of shut off rent. They just kind of need to give these places some money, some aid. He can't do that because that's against my ridiculous beliefs that most people understand. And this seems like I'm just doing a bit or exaggerating, I think, but this really is a thing. I don't know if this is this is not a worldwide thing. I think this is a large part of the American population is just really just tall babies, who they want it now. They don't want to make any sacrifice for the people of their country or for greater. That's them.
Deserves to go. He really does deserve to go. Look, if California opens tomorrow, if LA is open tomorrow, I think that I'm going to go outside and have a chicken sandwich. I'm going to go to a restaurant and have a fried chicken sandwich. You guys want to come with me? What do you want?
My brain is in recovery mode.
Spicy chicken sandwich. Connor, what do you want? 2 spicy chicken sandwiches. So the group of...
I feel so sorry for watching these videos, like these right-wing kook videos on YouTube. They always employ a team of production people, camera people and editors and live production people and all this stuff. And it's just like years and years ago, I applied and I actually got a call back from a little site and a little channel that used to be called Informational Wars, starring Alexander Jones, because they pay for an entry-level video editing job, pays very well, better than any other production company or whatever where I live. And back then I didn't really, it wasn't as, Information Wars was more of a joke than anything. It was more of like a performance art thing, I think is how people thought of it. Now it's like a right-wing kook station. But you got to wonder, if you're, broke and they're like, yeah, come edit videos. We'll pay you $70,000 a month right off the bat. You're like, what are these videos again? Oh, I'm just getting on there and firing up rubes about how if anybody but Trump is president, we'll all be brutally murdered and they'll come and take away your children. But again, $70,000. And then you're like, let me think about this one. This is an awkward position to be in. Let's just go back to this a little bit. So he's really worked up that they shut down it all. This is a quote in this article. They actually interviewed one of the people from the California Health and Human Services, the secretary, Dr. Mark Galey. And here's what he says. California is slowly starting to emerge from the most dangerous surge of the pandemic yet, which is the light at the end of the tunnel we've been hoping for. 7 weeks ago, our hospitals and frontline medical workers were stretched to their limits, but Californians heard the urgent message to stay home when possible, and our surge after the December holidays did not overwhelm the healthcare system to the degree we had feared. And Dave Rubin is like, I need my chicken sandwich. Get your asses. I don't care. I don't care if they overwhelm those hospitals. I want food served to me. I want more than my ration. I want more than my ration book allows. I want all the sandwiches. Oh, sir, we got to send some of those to the troops. They're trying to defeat the Nazis. You heard about this, right? I don't care. I want all the chocolate. Okay, calm down. Stop crying. Are you crying? No, don't look at me. So here's another beautiful one. Here, let's just check this out. So he's belly aching about, I don't know, the White House YouTube channel. Here we go.
And this story is probably going to seem like a little bit of insider baseball to you guys, but I think it's actually pretty important. So the Biden White House team has shut off all comments on their YouTube videos.
What?
Now, that's pretty interesting because it's like, first off, if it's a governmental website, my general my general position on this would be that you'd want as much transparency as possible and you just let the people talk, right? Like you just have the comments there.
Okay, so he's moaning and complaining about the White House comments being off. By the way, who's like, I gotta go comment on the White House. Hey, sir. Like one of those reply guys to Trump, like, yeah, right, sir. You know, like those guys, those guys on Twitter who think they were, you know, months ago, like dunking on Trump. Yeah, right, liar. Go back to Russia or whatever those people say to Trump. So I don't know who's all up in the White House YouTube comments. But anyway, just seconds later, he says this.
Things. Now, a few of you wise, witty people may be noting that we here at the Rubin Report don't have comments on our live streams. And that is true. Now, first off, I want to be very clear. I'm not part of the U.S. government, in case you didn't figure that out. I have no connection with the government.
It isn't.
The reason that we do it is because the way that these ridiculous big tech algorithms are set up is that the live streams become the worst sort of evil, trolling, bot, lunacy, white supremacists, crazy anti-Semites, like just...
Fetch the bolt cutters.
You think that might have something to do with why they shut off the the White House YouTube comments there, buddy? People are in there like, "Dear Joe Biden, dear Kamala Harris, look out your window," you know, like stuff like that. What's funny is I actually wanted to reply on PBS. PBS does this thing with what's that guy's name? David Brooks, who's just a real puke. That guy David Brooks. He's a real, and I really wanted to. I don't know why. One day I just wanted to say something mean to him because this is what PBS is doing on their YouTube channel. It's David Brooks and then some 140-year-old man just saying nothing on the PBS YouTube channel for an hour. And I just wanted to tell him to shut up in the YouTube comments, and the PBS YouTube comments are off. So this is a real tragedy that Dave Rubin is talking about. I can't go and tell my favorite public officials to shut up, or that I'm outside of their house, or I want to give them a knuckle hoagie. You know what I mean? I want to give them a fist bow.
We've been hanging and banging, brother.
Okay? I want to give them a knuckle bond me. Yep, I went there. I said it.
The muscular class. This is something I have a lot of problems with.
So that's the United States. We're really, a big portion of us, we're really worked up and fired up and pissed off that we can't go to restaurants. We can't take our, bratty little kids, our little drool-covered kids to eat waffles whenever we want, to kind of help out hospitals and make less people die. We just can't make that sacrifice. I'm sorry. I just can't make that sacrifice. They got these omelets at this place I like. They put goat cheese in them. You think I'm going to sacrifice that just so some hospital workers can sleep? No. Good night. And
Bye-bye.
The other thing, of course, that we're really worked up into a foam, just a thick, soapy, muscular shower foam that we're getting so worked up about that we can't comment on certain YouTube channels. These are the pressing issues of our times. My fellow Americans, I want to tell you, you have nothing to fear but not being able to eat a waffle, not being able to be served a waffle, and also not being able to write, "Shut up, sir. You're a real barf," to a famous person on YouTube. You do have to fear those things because that's too much. That's just far, far, far too much for any human to bear. We cannot make that sacrifice. And I want to say also, I do think that they should have the comments on the YouTube White House channel. You know what I mean? Like, do I think that that's going to... Oh, now the civil discourse is beautiful. Like, no, it's going to be a bunch of lunatics and weirdos, threatening people's kids and, posting links to a way that you can make money from home and stuff like that. But yeah, I think they should probably leave it. But at the same time, I'm like, who cares? Really, big time, who cares?
I have no doubt that there's plenty of stuff we don't know about. That in essence, as I've been talking about for a long time, we are in an information war. You'll have a sort of a state-run media, and then you'll have videos that you can see online that you can't comment on, and then when you go to the big tech platforms, they'll manipulate you in a certain way, and then you'll be reduced to figuring out other ways to communicate with people.
I mean, this guy, even earlier in the video, he was talking about, he's like, let the market figure everything out. I mean, it's just kind of interesting because we're watching like in real time. You know, this has been going on for a while, but it is like real time watching these guys like over and over, just like prove their own thesis, prove their own, what is the name for the thing? Prove their own theorem wrong, which is like, oh, just let the market figure it out. And so the market figured it out, and now there's like these monopolies in the tech world, and they're like, we don't like this. We don't like this now. Okay, so you were wrong? No, but are you crying? No. You know, your grandfather cried during World War II when they wouldn't give him all those rations. They wouldn't give him extra rations, right? No, he did not. That's another myth. That's another one of these myths that you media types do. So there we go, guys. We had a lot of fun today, right? We had a lot of fun.
Bye-bye.
We hung out with some of our favorite friends, David Rubin, Alexander Jones from Information Wars, real Italian guy Fieri. Why you know half of my money? I told you 2 days. Now I have to break your legs. The entitled World War II ration card guy. All of our favorite friends on this channel, okay? So I love you, and please stay safe. Don't die. Try not to die, you know? If you're gonna die, well, you know, then
Bye-bye.
But if you're not, then, you know, be careful, okay? Bye, everybody.